Hi friends, at first I must congratulate you for choosing C language for your study in this web series. Before explaining this concept, I would like to tell you one thing. I have uploaded one video before this, that is a roadmap to acquire mastery over programming language and acquiring a bright software job on your own. That is a roadmap. You must have knowledge of that. The specialty of this 20 years of my experience I shared with you through 20 minutes of video lecture. And the having roadmap is very important. Analogically, if you want to reach any destination, you must have a right route and right address. Then only you can reach your destination. If it is not so, you have to waste a lot of time. Sometimes you may not reach your destination. That's why I have given the roadmap. First, watch that. If you already watched it, it's okay. Otherwise, you watch that before moving to this. Okay. Now, come to this point. C language. According to me, C is the oldest and evergreen programming language. This is the best entry point to enter into programming world. Unfortunately, many college goers feel that C is outdated language. That's really unfortunate, but that is not true. If you ask any professional, they never comment like that. They give a lot of respect to C language. That point you have to understand. Actually, how I can say that C is the greatest language. Actually, anybody explains about that, they theoretically, conceptually, they tell that. But through my personal experience, I can prove that C is a wonderful language. Actually, I am a corporate professional. Till 1999, I was an illiterate in computers, either hardware or software. I never touched a computer at all. Out of my interest, just I studied one, I got an opportunity. I studied one C book, C language book, and within 15 days, I completed the whole book, and then I got a perception. I was a manager. Then, what was my job? I used to instruct my assistants in my language, and my assistant performed the jobs, whatever task entrusted to them. Ultimately, I got my task done. Okay. Being a human, I speak in either English or my mother tongue. My assistants used to understand that. Okay. Now, my perception is very simple. Computer. I treat computer is also my assistant, but it does not know my language. That's why I learned to C language. I learned to C language, one of the computer languages. I learned it. Now I am able to instruct a computer in its language. It can perform all computational jobs without any mistake. If my instruction is correct, it performs it 100% correctly. That was my perception. After 15 days of completion of my study, I wanted to develop a project. Then I have taken up a task and I have written a program. It's a 100 plus lines program. This is a project. Then in the first instance, I could complete that successfully. In the first instance, I got the result. Then everybody admired me. Then they were treating me like a superman. But I never found any difficulty in that. Very simple. And at the same time, one thing I must tell you, I am not intelligent at all. I am just an ordinary person, and I am having ample common sense. That's it. But I am not intelligent even today. Okay. Then somebody suggested me, why don't you write your perception in the form of book? Then he put a seed in my mind. Then immediately I started thinking of it. On the almost on the 45th day of my learning, I started writing my book, and according to my perception. See, my perception means whatever books are available right now, those were developed in academic fashion. Those are meant for writing college exams only, but not for acquiring programming skills. Almost whatever books I have seen, all books were written in academic fashion. That's why I wanted to write my book in totally in application oriented approach. That means whatever concepts you study right now, you must apply them. Apply them then and there, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after some time. So in that way, I developed my book, and this is my first book, See All Clear. See All Clear, and it is 1,000+ pages. This was written by a layman. I never attended any programming class in my lifetime. At the same time, I developed the book in my mother tongue, Telugu language also. Same book, same content in the Telugu version. Telugu version. Thereafter, I presented these books to the professors of IICs, IITs to take their comment, and everybody appreciated it. An exemplary. They never found this dimension in programming studies because I was a layman. That's why how a layman can think, how a layman can perform, all that I have incorporated in that. Then I got a huge applause from the people. You may not believe that at the time emails were not there, and I received thousands of letters. Thousands of letters. The first letter on 15th September 2000 I received. In this manner, thousands of letters I received, and the greatest milestone in this is Dr. Abdul Kalamji read my book, and he spent hours of time on this, and he invited me and blessed me, and uttered one thing. He became a virtual student of mine by reading my book. That is a great applaud for me for my lifetime. Okay, that's why I'm telling you the layman's book. Layman's book. It is not power of me, it is the power of the C language. That's why I want to share with you, and subsequently I have written books in all other languages like C++, Java, Python, etc. And one more thing I have to tell you, these are not ordinary textbooks. And because my presence is, if you like my system, my presence is required for you. For that purpose, I developed them as a video book. Video book means book with video lectures. 60 hours of video lectures I have provided, and in the DVD form along with the book, I am providing it. Okay, so that's why I call it a video book. By that, you can have my presence in your study room 24 into 7. That point you have to understand. And one more thing I am telling you, regardless of your programming background, just 60 days, because 60 hours lectures, if you are able to study 1 hour lecture and work on that within 60 days, just master or C language, no doubt about that. Mastering, I am not talking about learning something for college exam and all that. You master, and you will be in a position to write projects. And now this is another dimension. See Feel Good series. From the day one onwards, you can develop the project. This is another strategy that I am going to explain. So these points you have to understand before choosing C language. Now let us consider some points on the importance of the C language. The first one is C, the oldest language. Actually, it was released in 1971. After 50 years, also it is having same vigor and popularity in the programming world. 50 years duration is very big duration in computer domain, even though it is having its strength and popularity. According to me, it is an evergreen language. As long as computers are there on the earth, C language will stand. No doubt about that. The second one is, even today, it stands in the first 5 rankings of the programming languages. Actually, some agencies conduct a survey on different programming languages. As I told you already, there are different dozens of programming languages, and some agencies appraise their popularity, demand, etc., and all that. Give rankings. Any survey and in any year you take, C stands in the first positions in the survey reports. That point you have to understand. By that you can understand what is the popularity of the C language. Third one is C, the most fundamental language. That's why in most universities in the world, C is introduced as the first programming language. Not only for computer science students, for all branches. As you know that engineering, many branches are there like electrical, electronic, mechanical, civil, automobile, aeronautics, etc. For every branch, the C is introduced as the first programming language. Actually, without having programming knowledge, no professional will become a complete person, complete professional. You may be civil engineer or mechanical engineer or electrical, electronic, or any type of engineer. You must have knowledge of programming. That too, if you have C knowledge, that is better. Okay. The fourth one, speed up the learning of advanced language, because C is the most fundamental language. That's why if you master C language, then it is like laying a foundation, strong foundation. On this 100-storied building you can construct, multi-storied building you construct, and there is a logic also. Now C, C plus plus means one step further, one step further. So and that is based on C only. C sharp, actually C sharp means sharp C, that is also base is C. Java, Java is an object oriented programming language developed based on C, C++. In that way, many advanced languages based on C language. So first if you learn C language as a first programming language, when you go for studying advanced languages, they will be very easy. You feel like a native environment. You never feel like a new environment. That is another power of C language, versatility. Actually, C is having a wonderful feature. Actually, those are low level language, the high level language. Low level languages are meant for developing system software, like developing operating systems, compilers, text editors, etc. and all that. High level language means you know that we develop general purpose programs, whatever language you know, Java, Python, all these are high level languages. Actually, C is a middle level language. C is known as middle level language because using C you can develop system software as well as application software. That means using C you can develop operating systems, text editors, compilers, etc. and all that. At the same time, you can develop commercial or general software. That's why it's a versatile language. That point you have to understand. Thereafter, C programmers are always having high demand. High demand. Some A grade companies also, first they test the knowledge of the candidate in C language. That point you have to understand. Thereafter, student friendliness. Actually, C is highly student friendly. Highly student friendly means, here one point I have to tell you. Actually, every language is having its syntax rules. They should be strictly followed. Small deviation is there and all that, then you cannot get result. As far as C language is concerned, it gives a lot of rules are there. At the same time, it gives lenience also. Certain routine things and all that, if you don't follow also, it does not object, because it gives a motherly lenience. Actually, your mother gives some lenience to you. If you don't obey certain things also, she excuses you. Your father may be strict, but other languages are like fathers. That means they never allow any disobedience. But as far as C is concerned, rules are there, but it gives you lenience also. If you come some mistakes also, some cases it excuses. That's why it is student friendly, highly student friendly. And finally, it is not last point, but CLA. Actually, if you have a international certification on any language, then it is a testimonial to prove your command over that language. CLA, C language certified associate certification. This is a high demand certification. If you want, you can prepare for that. Once you study my course and all that, automatically you will be prepared for a CLA certification. By that, you can have testimonial with you to prove your conceptual understanding as well as programming skills. This is the just a few points I explained to tell you the importance of the C language.